What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing good. I'm doing good. It's a deep thought video today. Yes, it is indeed. Something kept me up all night because I saw something on Rick and Morty that made me question reality a little bit. So before I jump into the video, if you like the video, if you don't like the video, thumbs up or thumbs down if you like, subscribe if you wish. I guess what I'm going to talk about is kind of controversial, even though it really shouldn't be, but I'm going to talk about it anyways. Let me touch your cheeks a little bit. There I go, touching your cheeks. Yay. Anyways, in today's video, I want to talk about religion. I identify as an atheist. I do not believe in a God or anything like that. I'm however very spiritual, but I am not religious at all. With that being said, this video is not about is there a God, is there not a God, like what's going on, whatever. This is just about shit that kept me up at night and a bunch of what ifs, just theories that I came up with right before going to bed, you know what I mean? Super kind of lighthearted stuff. I was watching Rick and Morty, and Rick goes there's no God, there's no, religion's BS, whatever. And it got me thinking, as I was falling asleep, I was thinking, what's going on? So here are some things that I kind of came up with that kind of justified, so to speak, my atheism. One of the things I thought about was well, you know how we as humans have a chemical known as DMT. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the full word, but I'm going to put it right here. DMT. We have that in our brains. We produce that naturally. You could also take it as a drug, to have a fucked up trip. When we die, our brain produces a copious amount of DMT. As we also know, when we pass away, our brains stay alive for a few minutes, up to 10 minutes, I believe. And then the brain dies as well. With that being said, if you combine the fact that we release DMT after we die, and the fact that our brain kind of stays awake for a few moments after we pass away, combining those two things can essentially create an illusion of heaven or God or hell or the devil or whatever, whatever your subconscious kind of believes. We know that people that take DMT trip out real hard. They see beings sometimes, they see things they can't explain. They go to different worlds, different dimensions, whatever, different existences. So who's to say that when you die, that DMT trip and your consciousness that's still awake, what's to say that that isn't your perception of heaven? That DMT trip release in your brain that you have after you die, who's to say that that's not heaven? You know what I mean? That could easily be heaven for you, or hell, whatever, That's why I think when people have near-death experiences, that's all that is, I think. I think there's just simply a near-death, that's just a release of DMT and their brain still being alive, seeing the effects of the copious amount of DMT in their brain, seeing heaven or hell or the light or whatever the fuck they see. Jesus, God. I feel it's a combination of your subconscious, egoic self mixed with DMT production in your brain and the fact that your brain stays alive for a few more moments after you pass away. So if you get resuscitated back to life in that time span, I think that's your heaven that you saw, you know what I mean? Again, just a theory I came up with, could be complete BS, just something I thought about. We know what an ego is, right? Our egos, everybody has an ego, and this isn't Freudian egos. Spirituality as a whole, you know that the ego is a big deal, and that ego always wants to feel good, it wants to feel safe, it wants to feel comfortable. That's why a lot of habits are formed, because the ego enjoys predictability and comfort from life. So oftentimes when you think about death, a lot of people get scared, and actually that dwells into existential therapy a little bit, but technically, if you think about it, we as people, we love to fix everything. We like to feel comfortable. We like to feel like we're in control of the situation at all times, because that makes us feel good and it comforts us. Knowing there's a problem that you can't fix and never will be able to fix, and it's inevitably going to happen to you, is very frightening. If you bear with me, I can probably freak you out if you've never thought about this before. If you just take a second, for just 1 second, pause this video, whatever, just keep listening, and just think about the fact that you're going to die. Think about that your existence is going to end, and that's it. You're gonna cease to exist. and there's nothing you can do about it. There's no solution to this. This is going to happen to you. You as a being is going to end. You're going to end. You're going to stop existing, and you'll never be again. The world will keep going, and everything will keep going. Just you won't. You'll just die. Now you're going to have a brief panic attack if you've never thought about this before. You have a brief episode of freaking the fuck out, which is fine. I've had it. Now that you're scared out of your mind about it, like I was when I thought about it, insert God and insert faith and insert religion and insert afterlife. What is that? Afterlife. That afterlife is now an answer or a band-aid over your problem, because now you think that's not going to be the end. There's going to be something else. I'm going to keep existing somewhere else. So my life is going to continue elsewhere. You know what I mean? Death is such a feared topic to talk about. Like, everybody's so scared of dying and death and like all that stuff, which is understandable. It's like the one thing that unites us as people is death. We're all going to die. So the idea of no longer existing and no longer being in thisness, it's very frightening to people. And there you go. Like, afterlife, heaven. You can go to heaven where you'll live forever. It seems like an answer to your death problem, doesn't it? In the past, like in the Middle Ages, like whenever, prehistoric times, like whatever. It made sense for them to believe in religion. It just made sense. It was an answer to their problems. It was an answer to their fears. It was a way for them to live a moral, healthy life, whatever. Things that we know are causes are like explained by science. People back then thought were like religion. You know what I mean? So I think just like it's outdated, and I think the only part of it that isn't outdated is the morality of it. But at the same time, the morality of it is just, you don't need religion to learn that morality. The only other aspect that's still alive is the God part. And why is the God part alive? Because it's a sanctuary for people to believe they're safe after they die. That's just my opinion. I'm not trying to shit on anybody that believes in God or like, you know, is super faithful, you know, finds like peace, love, and tranquility in the hands of God, like whatever, do you. Once again, these are just like my thoughts. Like, this is just like stuff I think about. Everything that religion stands for kind of is a sense, an egoic relief, because if you've done something bad, you go pray to God and you ask for forgiveness, and when you're forgiven by God, you feel better about yourself, and it's just a form of release for people, like for them to feel comfortable about themselves. And I think people need God for that reason. I don't think people need God for anything else. Like, this manifestation of a being is just there to comfort the individual whenever they have a moment of discomfort in life. And I think that's kind of how it is. Anyways, guys, I had to just talk about that briefly. I woke up thinking about that shit. It was driving me nuts. And I wanted to see if anybody else kind of understood me, or like if I made sense to anybody else. So just kind of wanted to talk about that real quick. Anyways, guys, that's the video. If you enjoyed the video, please thumbs up it. If you hated it, thumbs down it. That's fine too. And as always, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe. Peace.